Good morning, campers. Let's do a divine collective check-in. Divine feminine, divine masculine. YouTube collective. Let's go. Let's start from your energy. How are you feeling? Or you know what? Let's start from what's going on in your life. And then we're going to tap into how are you feeling. So you know this is your message. Then we're going to do cards for where you stand in your relationship. That's what I want to do in your connection with your divine. And then, my loves, we're going to do the same for the masculine. I want to use this deck as well. Hold on. All right, let's go. What's going on with your life? Let's do 4 cards maybe for your ruling energy. First row. Heartbroken. Rejected. Oh, mirror. One more. One more. Okay, so we have heartbroken, feeling deeply sad, hurt, lost, despair, breakups. You would be in separation from your person. You are feeling rejected. Very heavy emotion for this collective. We have the mirror, right? You know what I always say? Our masculine, from day one, the sooner you really understand this, trust me, the easier this journey will be for you. We're always equals. They're always showing us something. It's teamwork. We have a soul contract. What do they need to activate within us to truly, really heal? This is why they activate that abandoned man, that father wound, that rejection wound, whatever is it within you that you need to heal. We have poker face. I feel like you wouldn't be in the nicest place right now, this collective. You would be feeling very heartbroken. Maybe you find yourself looking at, at your masculine, at his photos, maybe social media even, I'm hearing, crying over his photo. I'm seeing someone just, in bed looking at photos and crying. You would feel very rejected, right? I am feeling also this, if I love you so much, if on my level, on my end, this is so intense, it's so pure, how could this be that it's real, but you're not feeling it, you're not acting like this? But you have to remember that how they act has nothing to do with how they feel. They're wounded, just like you. They are deeply wounded. The journey of the masculine is a very difficult journey. With that mirror, I am hearing that you are trying to understand this, right? So you would be thinking, what are you showing to me, right? Regardless if you are in belief that this is your twin, or because I feel they might be a little bit in and out energy, right? Is this my person? It's just a karmic. You would be trying to sit on your emotions and think, what are you trying to show me? Why am I reacting like this? Why can't I just move past these emotions and move past what you're giving me? What are you showing me, right? And with that poker face, you would be hiding your emotions. I'm hearing not just from your masculine, I'm hearing from everyone. So maybe you don't talk to anyone about these emotions. It's a very, I don't want to sound like a broken record, and I don't want to sound like I'm telling you guys this for you to come on sessions with me, right? Because if you don't resonate with my energy, I can recommend someone else. There's a lot of beautiful divine feminists out there who are coaches, readers, shadow workers, and mediums like myself, shamans, healers. We're all healers. And they can help you. But the thing with this journey is that it is so unique. It is so profound. It is a journey of deep spiritual awakening, of finding your true self, of walking through hell of your shadows for a very long time. Being, drawn to a person that nothing logical explains this magnetic pull. So if you try to talk to these things with your normal friends, other people, they're going to think you're crazy. They're going to send you to therapy. They're going to tell you that you have to forget about this person, that it's just a toxic relationship, right? So they're going to get you more confused. That's why I always say, but it's also not good to not have anyone to guide you on this journey, because this journey is hard. So there's a reason I'm being guided to tell you this. Maybe you are feeling very lonely. Maybe you are feeling very in despair. I really could not recommend enough working with someone on a regular basis who has been through this journey. To me, it was a game changer. I cherish the day I found my shadow worker online, because she has helped me so much. And then further along the way on the journey, my shaman, someone who, for the first time, you say how you feel, you say what's going on, and they're not going to tell you you're crazy. They're going to say, yeah, it's completely normal. This is what happens in this stage of the journey. Deviation. But going back to your energy, you would be trying to understand, why am I reacting like this? I feel like they activated, shadows that you even didn't know that you had, or you thought that you already addressed, or that they weren't that intense. We have love call, expressing love, message of love, thinking of you. You would be thinking about this person. I'm hearing that you're waiting for a call. So maybe you would be hovering over your phone every time it buzzes. You hope it's this person. Every time a message arrives, you feel it's them, and you want them. Key on a ring, string along, unconventional, many options, one night stand. I am hearing that you feel a little used by this person, because this is on top of this rejection. So maybe, you are thinking that they only wanted something physical with you, because, they're disappearing, because they're not offering you anything else. But you have to understand, as we get activated to this journey, both divines are very wounded. We're not in our divine energy. We're in our twin flame energy. This is why we say twin flames never come into union. Divines do. In order to come into union, you have to release the label of a twin and stand on your divine power. Divine masculine, divine feminine, right? So as we get activated, none of us is in our divine energy. So it's not like they, maliciously, they have the feelings. They feel the intensity of the emotion, but it's not like they don't want to give you maliciously more. They're not capable. They feel terrified. They feel scared. They're not capable. But I feel like right now, this collective, they only offering you every now and then. Maybe they even said this to you, that all I can give you is friends with benefits, and you feel like you're just being used. You feel like, well, what's the problem? Even if you have friends with benefit, what's the problem to have lunch occasionally? Or, but again, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go to like this whole conversation about how friends with benefits is low vibrational. It's not something that a healed person and self-secure person would do. Because it's not something that's separation at the bottom of the deck. It's not something that you would now, truly purely understand, because you're in longing for this person. But in longing or not, everyone has a right to offer us what they want. And now either you take it or leave it, right? We are never in right to complain what is being given to us. This is the power of true divine feminine. Someone offers you something, the stored feminine asks for more, negotiates. Divine feminine says, you know what? I'll leave it. It's not okay with me. I'm not going to ask you for anything more. I'm not even going to, waste my time explaining what is it that I want, what is it that I deserve. I'm just going to go ahead and find someone who will willingly, without me asking, give this to me. This is divine energy. Because you are heartbroken, because you are wounded, you don't understand that. So to you, it's like, if he feels what I feel, why can he just ask me out or give me a bit of a time of a day? But he's incapable. We have Queen Rising, which is actually nice. I feel like that's on top of that mirror. So maybe you are, starting to rise into your power, starting to understand that whoever he is, he's showing me something and I'm not okay. How I feel right now, it's like you would be thinking, how I feel right now, I feel heartbroken, I feel rejected, I feel like an option. I feel like I'm being used. Every time my phone buzzes, I jump thinking it's him. I'm imprisoned by my emotion. I cannot do anything else. I cannot think about anything else. I don't want to go on like this. I want to heal. I want to rise into my power. I want to be able to say no. So you would be doing some reflection when it comes to how you react on his behavior. And we have fake flexing. There's a reason. I don't feel it's about money for this collective, but we have 2 cards of, faking, poker face, showing off. I'm going to explain you something about the dynamics of twin flames in one of the first stages, in and out energy. I've done a whole episode about stages of divine love. If you're interested, you can go ahead and watch this. I will try to link it if I know how to do this. I'm not the most technical person. But when we are in this in and out phase, sometimes beginning of our separation, what happens is that we sense, right? We sense that they are wounded, that they are in the runner boots, right? So we treat them like this scared gazelle, right? You see them and you don't want to do anything to scare them, right? So you're not being authentic, which is not a good thing, but you're so afraid to scare them that you make sure that you think about what you say, how you act. You make yourself a little bit smaller. If you feel like you intimidate them, you play smaller. You're very mindful as well of what you post on social media, right? And you don't want to scare them off because you're in such longing. So when they go ahead and run and they disappear, they ghost you for months, weeks, whatever that is. When they return, you don't want to scare them because you're so happy that they're returning, right? So you put on that mask, you put on that poker face, and despite the fact that you are heartbroken, that you're crying over their photos, that you feel rejected, that you feel used, that you feel used on a level of a physical body, right? You don't want to show this. So they message you and you're like, hey, no, it's all good. I'm happy you're writing, right? So you think that instead of saying what you actually want to say, like, how dare you to come back without, talking to me for 3 months or however many months, like, how dare you? No, I'm not going to cater to your needs. But you're afraid to say this. So you play cool, you play nice, right? And it's actually having an opposite effect because the masculine on the other side, who's also faking and wearing a mask and playing it cool, he thinks, well, okay, I spent the last 2 months trying to forget about this woman. I cannot do anything else but thinking about this woman. She keeps popping back into my mind. And now I finally found the courage, probably because I had a few drinks. That's how it usually works in the initial in and out stages, not always. I find the courage to text her, and she's like so nonchalant. Did she even notice I was gone for 2 months? She must not have feelings to me. She must not love me. That's why, although we're scared, you will really progress sooner on this journey when you start to speak your truth. And I'm not saying you should, block them and say like, how dare you? I was just like joking. But I'm saying that, with compassion, just to say, hey, it's nice to hear from you, but where have you been all these months? I've been kind of disappointed. If you're not ready to be all, because you should keep it like, a little bit toned down because you're very emotional. So you shouldn't be like, oh my God, you broke my heart. But address it. Say that, you know what, I was disappointed. I was a little heartbroken because I was hoping to see you sooner and you disappeared for like 2 months. The sooner you do it, the sooner your journey will progress. All right, let's tap into your energy. I want to do a couple of animals cards. And then we're gonna do tarot. How is this collective? How does Source see you? What's your energy? One more. All right. So we have the Vulture, which is the first card. Vulture is about cleansing negative energy, right? Vulture is about getting rid of what's not serving us. Vulture is that very unappreciated. We have air sign and we have fire sign, so it may be a detail. That you might be air sign or fire sign. A vulture is this very unappreciated creature that actually comes to do what we have to do periodically, to get rid of what is not serving us, right? Things that are not, and being guided to read through this vulture card. So let's go for it. I love the YouTube energy because I feel like I'm less, it's like more mature energy, people who actually want to listen. So I'm feeling less rushed. Okay, let me find this. Guardian and purifier, essential for rebalance. The vulture is perhaps the most misunderstood creature of all. This intriguing bird balances our ecosystem and prevents the spread of disease. It does the dirty work that no one else wants to do and cleans up our messes. The vulture appears when there's a situation that needs to be purified or brought back into balance. Remember, the vulture is greatly undervalued. What you thought was a mistake or tragedy is blessing in disguise. When in balance, clarifies, reveals wisdom. When out of balance, dramatic and aggressive. So maybe you find yourself a little bit dramatic. To bring into balance, clean your space and sage your space. Sometimes through cleansing our physical space, we do help to cleanse our energy as well. Maybe you're being guided to learn more about cleansing your energy. Every time you see your divine, especially if you're intimate with anyone, you take upon his energy and energy of all the people that he's been with. So it's very important on this journey because it really can have a physical effect on us. It's really important to know how to cleanse your energy. But I feel you're being called to, to cleanse something, to eliminate something. There are some shadows that are being shown to you. There are also some emotions that are shown to you. We have fire, and there's a reason I was mentioning in the beginning, remember, about sharing your story with other people. I feel you might have. I feel this collective, you might have made, again, I don't want to say a mistake, everything happens for a reason, but I feel like you might have shared with some of your friends, oh my God, that, he's coming, he's disappearing. And maybe because we have the Scorpio as well, right? So sometimes on this journey, when we are just beginning, right, we're a beginner, we don't know what this journey is about, it's relatively new, let's say it's like your first year or first year and a half, it's different for everyone, but you're still not sure, is this my twin, is this not my twin, what does it really mean, what is this journey really, what is the significance of this journey? We oftentimes, we need to talk to someone. We're so overwhelmed, we're in such amount of pain, and people also start to notice it sometimes, it's something off, something's going on with you, so you start to talk about this person that you've met and it's this intensity, and I feel like you might have some people around you that are telling you, what, you should do this, you should do that, tell them to hell with this, and maybe the Scorpio energy activates within you. There's also a reason why I was guided to tell you that you shouldn't be like, what, how dare you? Because Divine Feminine, one of the qualities that we have to build on this journey is unconditional love and compassion. Whoever hurts us, whoever does anything, we should always have compassion. We should understand that they are coming from a place of wounding. This doesn't mean that we should not have a boundary, but if someone comes back, if your masculine comes back, you shouldn't be stingy. You shouldn't be, expressing your hurt in that way, right? So your communication should look more like what I explained to you. I'm happy to hear from you. I've really missed you. I would love to, if that's what you want to do, I would love to see you, but I have to say that I am a little bit disappointed. I was a little bit hurt. I didn't expect that you would disappear again, right? So in a very balanced, try to start building communication with more compassion in more of a balanced way. We have the eagle as well. This is your first row, right? The eagle represents karmic fire. And with that vulture and with that eagle, I feel like you're going through something that is activating some shadows within you, activating some anger because you're not yet connected to your own spirituality, your own intuition, your own guru. So you're listening to other people. And what other people say, for most part, it's just noise. It's societal illusion, what we're supposed to do. And most people doesn't come from a place of true compassion, right? So I feel like you are being maybe advised that you should, put in boundaries, but not in a loving and compassionate way, but in a, but there's a reason. Whatever emotion you're sitting at right now, it is some sort of a purge. There's a reason I went free more. There's a reason it's happening, right? So it's karma. What we sometimes happens between us and our divine. Sometimes we do have karma to clear out. Sometimes certain happens, sometimes we are the deliverers of karma. So your masculine, or you to him at one point, you may be the deliverer of something painful that he has to go through in order to heal, to become more humble, to become a better person. Do you know what I mean? So whatever's happening, you need this. You need this in your life. Again, we're continuing with the air and the fire sign. So I am hearing that this may be a detail. We have the dragonfly. I feel like you are a little bit stuck in your mind right now. You're overthinking, so you're overanalyzing everything that he says, everything that happens, everything that maybe those other people say. Is it true? Is it not? People. This is why we should always listen to our inner compass only. Divine feminine, it's more big of a deal for the masculine. The masculine is surrounded by karmic people for a very long time on this journey, right? But in the beginning, we do also have some karmic clearance with friends and people, but we do this relatively faster. And I talk about this a lot, and I've done a lot of episodes as well about comparing the journey of the masculine and the feminine. But because we as feminines, we operate in 5D and we have to heal on a level of a soul, we get awakened to spirituality, to truth in early stages of this journey, right? So when you are awakened, you relatively quick to release karmic relationships, because you start to understand soul ties, soul relationships. You start to build your self-worth, understand that this friend is not good for me, that this is not what true friendship means, this is not what a soulmate friend looks like. And we clear that out relatively quick, which is like the first year or two of this journey. Whereas the masculine struggles with that until his actual awakening that happens shortly before union, physical union. So for a very, very long time, depending on how long you're going to be on this journey, but for all this time, he's going to be struggling because he has to do it. It's part of the journey of the masculine. But I feel like you may have some karmic clearance. I feel that, they're trying to activate your throat chakra. They're trying to teach you to speak from the heart, but not from the wounded heart, from the heart that is broken, from the heart that feels grief, but from a compassionate heart, from a loving heart, with courage. It's like you're still wearing a mask, you're still afraid to admit to certain things, you're still guided by what people tell you should think, or what a situation is, but they know nothing about this, right? And I feel you're still a little bit of that with that elephant, that misconception of fate, right? So you wouldn't be automatically approaching every situation in a sense of it must be a lesson. You're starting with that mirror that we had, you're starting, but you're still in this, why is this happening to me? Why it cannot be different? Why he cannot just love me? Why he cannot just give me some time of day? I'm not asking for much. I'm not asking maybe to have a full-on relationship. I just want to get to know him. I just want to spend more time. Why is he running? Why is this happening to me? What do I have to learn? It's this sort of approach. You're not seeing, with that vulture, remember what we read through, you're not seeing everything as, as an opportunity to grow, which is okay. It takes time to get into that mentality, but try to start shifting. Everything really happens for a reason, and I'm hearing try to cleanse that. Really think about what friends are serving or not serving you, because true, if you are going through, me even looking back, if you don't know what a twin flame is, if you're not a spiritual person, right, if you don't believe in that kind of stuff, if someone comes to you and say this, I met this person and this is what's going on and I've read online about this, a true compassionate friend, even if they're the most logical masculine energy on earth, they will not make you feel worse. They will be like, you know what, I don't know, just be careful, right? Just be careful, be cautious, right? They will give you good advice, which is the half of your soul or not. You have to, you teach people how to treat you. They're not going to make you feel like you're crazy or like you should just like find yourself someone else. So there's a reason it's coming to my mind, right? So be mindful of that. Okay, let's see what's going on in your connection right now. You know what? I want to start from these. Let's just see what's going on in your connection on your end. One more. Okay, that's actually nice. We have some energy of stagnation. So you would be feeling like not much is going on. Four of Swords. Like you're a little bit stuck with that Hanged Man as well. That nothing is progressing. Nothing is going on, right? We have a Seven of Wands again, which is a confirmation. You do have your guard up. You're not completely exposing your feelings when it comes to this person. You're not completely honest. You're not completely yourself. They're showing me the Gazelle card again. So remember, it's like you don't want to scare them, but you're also scared. You're scared to be yourself. It's like you're playing it very safe, very cool, which is not the best thing, because I can tell you right now that there's nothing more magnetizing to our counterpart than our authentic vibration. The sooner you discover who you are through healing, through self-love, through self-indulgence, self-care, and you start being who you are, saying what you mean, saying what you think, acting right, and not just the more magnetized they will be towards you. And of course, for as long as he wears the armor, the mask, he's going to be repelled by that, because he's going to be scared of that authenticity, because it is the other half of his soul being authentic, right? So he's going to be repelled until the moment he's ready to do the same, but in the same time he's going to be magnetized. So you're not doing yourself any favor, but by faking, by acting from a place, I don't want to scare him, I don't want to ask for him, just be you. Be you. If you're limited, if you're still not ready to be you when you're talking about your connection, at least be you when you're with him, right? Say what you want to say, laugh of what you want to laugh. Be you. Don't be scared of be you. We do have that star energy, which is beautiful. I feel like you are preparing to embark on a journey of deep healing. That's what I'm hearing. You are understanding that there's something within you that needs to be healed, that needs to be course corrected, something that this person is showing you that you haven't seen before, which is beautiful, which is very beautiful. And we have Judgment, which is a card of awakening. I feel like you are going through an awakening right now. You are looking at your life. You are starting to connect the dots. A lot of things make sense. Maybe you're getting dreams and downloads about certain things. Maybe you're finding information. The fact that you found this video is a sign as well that maybe you're finding, information about the journey, information about awakening, spirituality, things are being shown to you. It's very uncanny in the beginning of this journey when we are activated to this journey and we meet our person. Suddenly swords starts to show us things about this is the journey, twin flames, spirituality, synchronicities, the other half of your soul, vibration, frequency, awakening, kundalini awakening, da 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 da, right? We haven't seen these things before, and now it's all over the place. They're guiding you to learn more about these things. You are awakening this collective. I want to do a few more. Where are you on this journey? We have the sun. I'm hearing masculine energy, which is normal. In the beginning, when we get activated to this journey, we sit in our masculine energy without us knowing. We all have masculine and feminine within, right? We sit in this energy. Because we chase, we pursue, we wanna guide what's happening in the physical world, and this is not our dominion. We have Seven of Swords. Well, seven, maybe that's important for some of you. Seventh of the seventh, 77. I'm hearing, but it is a frequency of expansion, of awakening, of learning, of spirituality as well. We have King of Pentacles, and I want to do one more. I want to do one more. Five of Pentacles, which is lack mentality, victim mentality, worthiness issue. I feel you are, like I said, sitting in your masculine energy, wounded masculine energy. You are the chaser. You are pursuing. What happened? It just froze, blocked completely, which is a sign, right? You have to stop. Stop. You are pursuing this person, so maybe you are the first one to reach out, to ask how they are. Maybe you're checking their social media. You are in a chaser energy, and they're guiding you towards healing that. I feel, again, in this connection right now, it's confirmation. You are guarded, but you also feel unseen. You feel ignored, used, right? You're not feeling chosen. You're not feeling like a first option. And I feel it's causing a lot of confusion within you because you feel that your connection is so strong. Maybe when you're together, it's, it's the passion, the connection, the conversation. It's also wonderful. So again, you're thinking, if I feel this, how is it possible that this person doesn't feel it? It feels so real. It feels so intense. It feels so beautiful. So you feel abandoned. You feel not chosen, like I mentioned. And that activates that Five of Pentacles, that activates your lack mentality, that activates your rejection issue. And I think this is being brought to your awareness. It's one of the first things that is brought to our awareness, that we have, be it abandonment, rejection, oftentimes father wounds. So get to the bottom of this. Really analyze what is it within you that is chasing that codependency, that validation. What is it within you that is so afraid to be left behind, to be abandoned? Explore those things truly. And with the King of Pentacles, maybe you are trying to focus, what I'm hearing, on your physical world. What I'm also hearing is that you're trying to reason with yourself. So it's like, I'm a catch. Maybe you even said this to yourself. Why is he not wanting me, right? So we have such an amazing chemistry, and despite the fact, if you look at this from a place of logic, I'm a catch, right? Maybe you're an established person, you have a good life, you have a good job, you're someone educated. For an outside observer through the frame of the society, you're a catch, right? And you cannot understand, but it's not that easy. It's not that easy. You truly have to believe that you're a catch in order to stop entertaining breadcrumbs, right? All right, but it's all part of the process. You are being awakened, which is beautiful. I want to pull a couple more of these to confirm, and then we're going to do your masculine. Where do you stand in this connection? I want to do 5, 4. Oh, there we go. All right, we have number 11. Our love is eternal. It exists in every dimension and cannot be lost. Beautiful. I feel you believe in this. I feel you believe in this. I feel you feel this, that your love is eternal, that your love is not just from this lifetime, that there's more to it. You have to feel it. We have number 7, mirrors. Separated or together, we are working in tandem with each other. This is what I've mentioned to you, and this is something that you need to understand. And I don't care what anyone says. There's certain things that we work through, you know, in layers, because we're not ready to accept certain things. But the fact that we're equals, I think that any good twin flame, divine love, reader, coach, mentor, however you call yourselves, should teach that. And the issue is that a lot of divine feminines on a journey, for years on a journey, sometimes don't understand that. So go ahead and watch that episode that I've done. If this reading resonated on, I have a Divine Feminine Talks playlist. And there's an episode that talks about that we're equals. We're equals, we're teamwork all the time. No one is behind. It's just an illusion. Separation is just an illusion. Go ahead and watch that. We have number 8. I'm going through a dark night of the soul. Nothing in my life is making sense. This is your energy. You are going through that purge, that vulture energy, dark night of the soul. You are being awakened. It's possible that it is your first dark night of the soul on this journey. So you wouldn't be able to make much sense of it. You feel sad. You feel heartbroken. You feel abandoned. You feel rejected. You feel used. You don't understand what's happening. Emotions are emerging within you that you've never dealt with before. You don't know how to deal with this. That's why I said to you, again, I know that when we're ready to get onto that private reading or private session and start the healing journey. And I know it can be intimidating. I myself, a year and a half since I met my divine counterpart, I started working with a mentor on a monthly basis, on a regular basis. I had few experiences with someone that I was guided to, but I stopped because this wasn't a person for me, right? But the sooner you start, the better. Because I know it's intimidating again, but everything happens for a reason. But that was the only thing that I would always think, if I've started sooner, it would have been so much easier. The amount of things that she, helped me with and explained me. So maybe there's a reason I'm mentioning this to you. Number 10, I'm afraid you're going to meet someone else before I'm ready to be good for you. Maybe you're not feeling good enough for this person. Maybe, when they disappear, when they ghost, you constantly think, are they going to other people? Are they engaging in relationships with other women? Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe you are still seeing, there's always a societal issue when it comes to twins, right? So either that's age gap, financial gap, differences in background, in religion, right? So maybe you're thinking that this person, because of these reasons, they don't think that you're good enough for them. Because of you, I'm starting to see what's really important in life. You are being awakened to the mission. You are being awakened. This is such a beautiful journey of again, deep spiritual. And we have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Progress. You are awakening. You are awakening to truly understand what this journey is about, how to walk this path, how to heal. Beautiful. I love it. It's very hard. It's very hard, but one day you will look back and you will understand that this period served a purpose. All right, let's do your masculine. What's going on in life of your masculine right now? What's going on with your masculine? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. We have Inside scoop, a closer look, nosy, up in your business. I feel like he's being a bit of a stalker energy. So maybe without you knowing, he's trying to find out more about you. It happens a lot on this journey. They enticed by us from the very beginning. They're curious, right? And oftentimes, because they also, the biggest wound of the masculine is the worthiness wound, is the lack mentality. And they're oftentimes thinking how this woman can be interested in me. There's something, they're suspicious, right? There's something she's not telling me. There's something that is off. And also because, the masculines, the journey of the masculine is a journey through karmic life, karmic patterns, karmic relationships. So their perception of feminine energy is also very distorted. So they're used to women wanting something from them, manipulating them. That's why I explained to you, the sooner you move from that distorted energy, the better, because they're used to it. They're constantly, wanting something and lying and manipulating. And they went through pain. Oftentimes they also deal with betrayal wound. So it seems so wonderful when they meet us, their counterparts, that oftentimes they go into that suspicious mind kind of energy, and she's hiding something, right? So it's coming to my mind for a reason. So maybe he's suspecting that you're not, single, or that you're manipulating him for whatever reason. And I feel like this masculine is doing some research. We have shine. Your light irritates the demon. This is something that feminists don't understand, but because we are, in the beginning of this journey, because we are each other's ultimate mirror, we irritate each other's demons. We awaken the shadows, the woundings, the traumas. We know subconsciously, it's part of our soul contract as well, which buttons to push to cause pain, but it's not this other person that is causing you pain, right? So you might say something that is completely neutral. It's not rude, it's not mean, it's not, unsensitive, but it irritates the demon within him, something that he hasn't healed, something that he hasn't dealt with. And that's also one of the reasons why they run away. We have the ship. I'm sorry to say this to you, but I think he wants to move on from you right now. This masculine wouldn't be thinking, about, when I have a relationship, maybe it will work, and the feeling is there, the emotion is there, but they're guided by fear. The inside scoop, the irritation of their demons, they're guided by fear, so they want to move away from that. It's like, I'm also sensing with the grounding, I don't think they're actually grounding, but I'm hearing that they want peace in their life. And because you irritate their demons, and because it's such to an external observer, this in and out sort of a toxic thing, they don't know how this could work, and they move away from this. We have talking as well. I want a confirmation, but maybe they're talking about you with other people. But what I'm hearing is that they think about your conversations. It's something that they really enjoy. But let's confirm. Inside scoop. Obsessive lover. Then dangerous, toxic, and healthy possessiveness, karmic. They're a little obsessed right now. So they would be really, and maybe that's something that you noticed and it's confusing you. It's like, why the hell you're in my stories, right? As the first person every day, and you cannot answer my text. It's very confusing, right? But they want to find out more. They're curious, they entice, but they're suspecting that something is off. Shine. Cut down, separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment, cutting out. Yeah. They wanting, because this is on top of that shine, right? Because you're irritating their demons, they want to cut you off. It's not you, it's them. It's not you, it's them. There's nothing you can do. It's like, look at you. You try to be, like not irritate them and treat them like this, like walk around eggshells with this little scared gazelle Bambi, and you still irritate them because it's your true blueprint that activates theirs. It cannot be avoided. It cannot be avoided, but right now it's too much for them. We have addiction and we have uninterested. Quite heavy energy right now. So they would also be that uninterested. It's on top of that ship. I want to clarify the talking as well. So they would be also this is something to cheer you up. Hold on. So they would be faking as well. You have that poker face. They also would be faking that they're uninterested. So maybe whenever they like disappear or they, they don't message you back immediately, they're going to say, oh, I've been so busy. I didn't even notice your message. I noticed it and then I forgot. Yeah, the hell they forgot. Then they did not forget. You're on their mind all the time. They did not forget. They tried to move away. They tried to distract themselves. They tried to run into addictions as well. Unfortunately, that is a road of the masculine as well. Codependency, obsession, restraint, possession, control, emotional block. They are completely emotional block. The only relationships that they knew were codependent and I'm hearing nastily codependent. So just they're trying to have peace in their life. This is someone who wouldn't be looking for a relationship, but it's oftentimes that way that we enter each other's lives when we don't look for a relationship, right? We think we're so good single. But I was hearing some actual addictions as well. So maybe he runs away towards, drinking, partying, to this masculine committed relationship and love wouldn't be peace because of his previous experience that we mentioned. But your last card on top of that talking was love. The feeling is there. He feels something that he cannot explain. He feels wholeness with you. And it's something about this talking, that conversation, that when you talk, maybe he says things that, maybe he is being his authentic self. And whenever he tries, you react in such a beautiful way. It's like the conversation is like with no other. Okay. All right, let's see. Let's check his energy now. What is the energy of this masculine? What is the energy of this masculine? Confirmation that hyena in this deck is a card of bit of addiction. So he may have, I'm hearing he may have a little problem with alcohol, with the glass. That's weird. Okay. We have the bee and we have cosmic egg. I'm feeling this is actually blocked, but there's a reason this card pop up on this level of your journey. So let's start from the beginning. We have the moth, right? The moth is this energy of the grass is greener, right? So he would be someone who is quite pointing fingers, victim mentality as well, right? It's something that the masculine struggles. So people have it easier. Why can't I just have a normal relationship? Why can't I just have a better job? Why can't I just have a better life, better friends? Because they're not seeing that it's you. It's you who chooses that. It's you who don't believe that you are more, right? So instead of just looking at my basket, the basket analogy that we have our own individual basket. And we have to focus on what is my journey, what are my lessons, what is my path, instead of looking at other people, what they have that we don't, right? If we don't have it, it's because we were not supposed to. It's part of life. But I'm also hearing moth to a flame, so he would be very magnetized by you right now. I'm hearing he would be very magnetized, but because he is in denial, because he is escaping, because he's trying to move on, he is running towards distractions. So maybe, in the evening, he starts to think about you after work, and instead of just, surrendering to that feeling, he goes to a bar with friends and parties and, to numb the pain, to not to feel, to get distracted. Hyena is also this... there's a bit of a people pleaser in the hyena. There's a little bit of that, jokester kind of energy. So maybe he is that kind of energy, that he likes company of others. He seeks for that validation from others to tell him that he's attractive, that he's funny, that he's this and that. A crowd pleaser as well, I'm hearing. I like the energy of the bee, because bee is energy of hard worker, right? But maybe I'm hearing that work can be his distraction as well. So maybe he works a lot, maybe he's a hustler, but a hard worker, definitely. So it comes unfortunately for many masculines from a place, again, of lack, from a place of wanting validation through physical items and objects. So the more I have, the more money I make, the better I will feel about myself. So maybe this is his focus, his job, his career right now. With this cosmic egg, it's weird. We're going to clarify. I'm going to do 3 more, because this is the most beautiful card in the world. In the world, there's a reason I said that. World energy as well in the deck. This is a cosmic energy. This is your crown chakra, connection to the divine. I feel this is completely blocked, but in the same time, what I'm hearing, so he's very much in the matrix. He's very much in the physical world. So he would be denying existence of everything that is not explainable right now. So soul connection, destiny, and so on and so forth, right? I just heard religious crisis as well. So maybe he was raised a believer, and one of the religions were part of his life, and something happened in his life that he completely lost faith, and now it's just this belief that it's this physical world, this is what it is, and when we die it ends, and it's just refusal to, do you know what I mean? But in the same time, there's a reason they showed me this cosmic egg. He is a beautiful soul. He is very special. One more. We have black egg, we have peacock, and we have the bat. So the black egg is about throat chakra. But I'm hearing you both, because you had the nightingale. I'm hearing you both. That's on top of that hyena. So what I'm hearing is that it is out of balance. He's not familiar, connected to his truth. He's not speaking his truth. He's wearing a mask as well, right? He's unbothered. He's pretending that everything is like cool, right? But with that hyena, I'm hearing that he also might have a sharp whip, might be someone who is quite cynical, who can be quite hurtful with things he say. Remember what I said, this is why it's something that you have to work on, because twins, feminine, we lead the way on this journey of healing, but we are always connected through red thread, which means that they pulled on our energy, they follow the road that we're clearing in the 5D on the level of healing of the soul. So if that's something he struggles with, I would recommend you to work on this, because remember, we said this to you, that you also have moments that when you're hurt, you're speaking from a place of heart, but wounded heart, grieving heart, heartbreak, right? And you have to speak from a compassionate heart. So I feel it's an issue for this masculine as well. Whatever he's wearing an armor, whatever he's like not admitting how much he cares, I'm hearing he can be quite nasty with things he says. Quite cruel. Cruel is the word. cold. They're showing me King of Swords in reverse. With that peacock, I am seeing some of these cards like in reverse, in their shadow energy. They both have shadow and light. I feel there is a bit of a shallowness within this masculine. There is a bit of a shallowness. So maybe he cares about how he is seen by others. Maybe he puts a lot of attention in his appearance and you know, clothes he wears and how he looks, and he likes to be admired. He likes that external confirmation, that external validation. We have the bat as well. I was hearing two things with that bat. Bat on a generic level is an energy of transformation. So something is brewing within him, and you know, the universe is trying to break him a little bit, to create a little crack in that strong, thick shell, in that armor, to start receiving certain information and to change certain aspects of his life. But I was hearing that the energy of the night, with that hyena, with that bat, the energy of the night. I feel he's someone who is that night owl. So he activates with the energy of the night, which is the feminine energy. So it's like the night is calling him to heal his feminine, right? Because masculines, for a very long time, they suppress. We all have feminine and masculine again within. So they suppress this energy within, right? So it's like he's being called. That's why he likes the night, but he doesn't process this properly, right? So instead of tapping into his emotion, subconscious mind during the night and work with the energy of the night, of the moon, of the subconscious feminine energy, we have the moon here. Maybe he feels very connected to the moon. He uses distractions of the night, unfortunately. All right, let's dive properly into his energy in tarot, where he stands in this connection with you. Okay. All right. We have 3 major arcanas, and they ain't pretty. Especially, we have the Strength, we have the Devil, and we have the Tower. The pairing of the Devil and the Tower, 1414 on my clock. Maybe that has a meaning to you. There's a reason I looked at it. We had 7 and we had 14. It's not the nicest combination. It's very dangerous combination. With that Strength, I'm hearing that he's pulling on his strength a lot to stay away from you. So you would think, and he would present, you know, like, oh, I just been busy. I wasn't thinking about this. I didn't have the time. I didn't have, maybe he said to you once or twice, I didn't even have, you know, the energy or the willingness to like do something. I'm so, you know, like overworked and like busy with other things. But he's really pulling on his strength. I feel he's really thinking about you a lot. It's like you're constantly on his mind. But he understands it as a devil energy, as an obsession energy. He's not thinking, because remember what I said, he's very locked with the energy of soul connection. It's like maybe he thinks, like, I'm seeing that I don't have this oracle here in my house, I have it in my other house, but maybe he thinks that you bewitched him, that you did something to him to cause this obsession. Leo energy, Capricorn energy, Virgo energy. You definitely activated a lot of his shadows that he's been trying to silence for a very long time, which caused a Tower moment. I'm hearing both internal and external. So I'm hearing that his life right now isn't the nicest place, isn't the nicest environment. but also that it's like you awaken the demons within that he's been trying to silence for a very long time. And with that Hermit and with that Ten of Cups, what I am hearing specifically with this pairing, they came out together, is that he, all major arcanas, his energy is very intense and very pivotal, but it's not a surprise because as we get activated to this journey, it's one of the most important milestone of our journey of life for both divines, and we get activated in the exact same moment, right? So again, go ahead and watch that episode about how we're equals, because the fact that he's dormant, he's, behind, it has to be like that, and it's just an illusion, right? So he got activated to this journey as well. He is an activated twin. But for a very long time, I feel like this masculine he has put the dream of family, happiness, love on a shelf, and he has locked, not even in, it's like locked, not even on a shelf, in a dark closet, and locked it. He lost the belief through experiences of life that he had, perhaps his own parents, perhaps heartbreaks of the past. Masculines are very sensitive souls. They're very romantic. They're very gooey. They're very sensitive souls. That's why the armor is so strong, because the pain can be so profound. And until they heal, they're not going to be able to release that armor, right? And I think he really thought, I'm hearing that there was a moment in the life of this masculine that he said, family, relationship, marriage, commitment, it's not for me, it's never going to happen. Maybe he even said to himself, I'm going to be forever bachelor, forever single, because it's all nonsense, it doesn't exist. And this is the button that you pushed so strongly. Hold on. We have the Star. We have the Star that it is energy of healing, but it's also energy of wish come true, wish upon a stars. I'll tell you in a moment what I'm hearing, but I want to pull a few more. All major arcanas. What the hell is going on with this masculine? One more. One more. Okay. What I'm hearing is that, remember I said that he put in a dark closet the idea of relationship. I think at one point of the life of this masculine, maybe when he was very, very young, because they are sensitive souls, it was the biggest dream. It was the biggest dream. Maybe his family, I'm hearing something very specific. Maybe his family was distorted and was broken, and he always wanted that companionship, that love, that forever and ever after, right? That dream come true. Maybe he's a believer in fairy tales as well, which is beautiful. And maybe for a very long time in his life, he dreamed, you know what? One day I'm going to do it better than my parents. I'm going to have a beautiful family. I'm going to have a loving relationship. And I'm hearing that at one point he tried, right? Maybe once or maybe twice, and that he got really, really hurt, really, really heartbroken. They're showing me a snake woman, someone very, very distorted, very manipulative, very, really betrayal wound I'm hearing as well. So maybe he put all his love and all his, dedication, devotion, loyalty into a person who was a harsh karmic lesson and betrayed him in a very, very nasty way. And he has put this, again, this dream to rest, like on a bench. And he denies it, right now to himself, but it's all he wants. And I feel you activated that within him. And he's pulling on him, on his strength, because his wounded heart, his mind wants to protect him. So he goes back to that previous experience that hurt him. Don't do it again. Don't try. Because he never healed that. He never healed that heart. But with you, it's like you activate. This is how it works. This is why it's so magical and so beautiful and so difficult, this journey, because we activate our greatest wounds, but we also activate that potential, that light. We magnify that light. That's why once we heal and we're ready to get into union together, we're unstoppable. We're power couples. We activate each other light, strength, potential. Do you know what I mean? But when you're bathed in shadows, this is what gets activated. So it's like he doesn't understand. On one hand, you cause this internal conflict and you activate and awaken all his demons. But on the other hand, he really feels like a man with you. He feels like a true man. He feels like on top of the world. He feels like a conqueror. He feels like he could go ahead and take that dream and take it out of the closet. But it's scarce. It's such a powerful energy. I think you have no idea how intense is he feeling right now, because he's not presenting as such, because he's running away, because he's in denial. Saying this to him would not help, just a side note if you thought of this, but you have no idea. You are all he thinks about, you and things that you've activated within him. You give him his highest and you give him his lowest. Why? Because he is unhealed. Only for two healed divine counterparts we can give each other our greatest, our highest, because we're healed, because we have balanced energy, but none of you is in that energy just yet. I'm loving this masculine. He's magic. He's really magic. All right, let's pull a few from the 20 deck for him as well to close this. And I kind of want to do one for the archetypes for you, for guidance for this feminine. 1, 2, 3, 4, one more. Okay. All right. What? All right. So we have number 10, communication. I watch you on social media, confirmation. We knew this already. And the internet. It's my way of staying close and finding more about you. Confirmation. Here it is. Here's your confirmation. If you didn't believe me the first time I said it, he's watching you. He wants to find out more information. His armor, his protective mind over the past traumas that never wasn't healed. He's trying to protect himself. Number 4, I've been so grounded all my life. It's hard for me to trust the spiritual elements of our connection, yet I cannot deny it exists. Another confirmation. Remember what I said with the cosmic egg? Here it is with the cosmic egg. That he was, all his life he was grounded, and I think things happened that made him even more in the physical, and now he feels like in heaven. He feels like your soul speaks to his soul, and maybe he didn't even at one point wanted to believe in the existence of the soul, which is so sad. But now it like he feels, maybe that's why the air energy was so strong as well. Number 7, the universe brought us together for a reason. I'm discovering what these reasons are. Do you see that his energy is like more lovey than yours? You're doubting. Because you're in pain, because you see what there is. The role of the feminine is to see beyond. This is why it's so important for us to, he is going to give you all the reasons in a logical mind to leave him, to hate him, and to block and delete him. It is your heart that has to trust that he's the other part of your soul, but in the same time to detach and follow your own journey, your own path, your own healing. This is the key of the journey. But he's in a more lovey mood right now. He's thinking about, he believes this was divinely orchestrated. This, I think maybe you've met in a very serendipitous way. Most twins do, but maybe specifically your connection was very serendipitous. So it was the first thing for him that, man, I discarded everything magical beyond this earth, but some higher power must have orchestrated this. We have growth. I need to be strong in who I am before I can merge my energy with yours into the 3D. I'm afraid I could lose myself in this relationship. Another confirmation that he is afraid. He feels that he could lose himself in this relationship, because subconsciously he knows how much he loves, how much he wants love, how much he wants connection. And because he knows, again, it's not conscious, but his body knows that he's been through so much that if that past person could rack him that way, now with you, with the connection you have, terrified. These feelings overwhelm me and I become afraid. Another confirmation. Sometimes I even run away from you because of it. Confirmation. He is terrified. The emotion is there. He watches you. He wants to find out more. He's drawn to your energy. He feels it's beyond the physical world. It's something spiritual. It's something greater. It's something brought you together for a reason, but he is mortified. He is terrified. He's not stupid. He knows where his life is and where more or less his mental state is. He knows the confirmation. He's terrified. Oh, poor little scared lamb. He's a beautiful soul. All right. Let's pull one for you for guidance. Let's pull one for you. Oh, there it is. There it is. What do we have? What do we have? Let's see. The Shapeshifter, number 15. Let me read through this. Let me find it in the Shapeshifter. There it is. When in light, it's vibrant, adaptive and humorous. When in dark, charlatan, people-pleasing and trickery. The ultimate shapeshifter works undercover in service of the greater good. The diminished shapeshifter becomes a people-pleaser. So maybe this is your sign to really address that people-pleasing tendencies. The shapeshifter is related to the mask. Haha. Notice if these cards come up together. We just pulled one. If so, you are in the realm of heavy theater, illusion, possibly deception. What was I saying? Confirmation. Okay, let's read through this. The shapeshifter, the trickster, the elusive, the formless. The shapeshifter has a love of theater games and trickery. Its energy appears as one thing only to reveal a more complex story below the surface. The shapeshifter is within all of us to some degree. It is the side of ourselves that is slippery, non-committal, and experimental and longs to dismiss the rules. We need its energy to adapt to ever-changing landscape of our existence. When the shapeshifter card appears, it's important to imagine you are looking at life through kaleidoscope rather than a single focus lens. At any moment, the scene may shift, revealing a more enchanting vision that you have imagined. Be wary though, as the allure of the kaleidoscope can leave you exhausted and yearning for solid ground. Dancing long-term with the shapeshifter reveals a central pillar of integrity that links us before our center. I'm getting two things from this. First of all is the mask, the illusion. It's something that you need to realize, that as much as you are creating illusion around yourself, believe he's doing the same. So don't just take what you see right? Understand that there's a beyond, there's a depth that you're not going to have access to through these eyes, only through this eye. That's why you have to work on your feminine energy, on your awakening, on your journey of healing, right? And another thing is that life isn't what we just see again, it shifts. Certain roads that seem painful and dark and narrow, they lead us to the garden, to the paradise that we're going to live in. So sometimes we just have to trust things are shifting as we are shifting. We project our reality through our own internal change and our own internal growth. So focus on that right now. Focus on you. Don't focus on this masculine. Don't focus on what's going on. Focus on you. How do you heal your abandonment, your lack mentality, your boundaries, your self-worth? Focus on you. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments. Or if you feel guided to, you can reach out via direct message on Instagram. A link is in the description box. If you feel guided, you can also book a session with me via Instagram direct messages as well. My live sessions take place on Instagram. It's a live video call on Instagram. And if you want to connect to me a little bit more, I do show up on TikTok every day. I do collective readings. I have different collectives on TikTok. But I always say this, sometimes, watching a reader that resonates with you, you might know that this is not my collective, but there's always a message and there's always a learning in every collective. And I also post videos about twin flame journey and spirituality and so on and so forth. And I do some daily updates on my stories on TikTok as well. So if you want to connect to me, I'm a little bit more there. But again, for messages, for direct messages, for bookings, Instagram, please. And if you don't, feel like you're ready for a session, but you just want to ask a question or connect to me or send me a message, say hi. That's why I have Instagram for. I love you so incredibly much. I'm sending you strength. You're going to need it. This journey is hard. This journey is long. But I say this as a mantra. This journey is the greatest gift we can ever receive. I love you. And I will see you soon.